Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Becoming No One. This is episode 7. I'm your host, Big Taj, and today we're going to talk about the chakras. So, y'all, I'm so excited to be doing this episode because we've talked about the earth chakras before when we talked about the energy that's affecting us outside, but we haven't actually got a chance to talk about our chakras. Mentioned a little bit in other episodes, but this episode we're really going to dive deep into this because I've explained human design to you guys. Well, the path to balancing your energy is through balancing your chakras, okay? So this is literally the path to ascension, raising your vibration, and also evolution. This is really important information. So I want to give y'all all the information that I found and kind of get some feedback from y'all. So leave me some comments, leave me some feedback so that we can open up a discussion about these things. So you may ask, Taja, why is this important? Well, it's important because our chakras are literally our path to ascension, to raising our vibration and raising our consciousness, okay? So first we need to know what areas of our life this energy is affecting, because chakras are just wheels of energy. If chakra in Sanskrit actually means wheel or circle, okay? But this is supposed to be moving energy. And what is actually happening when energy gets stuck in your body or these chakras get blocked, that energy cannot ascend back up to your crown chakra, which affects your ability to reach higher consciousness, okay? Higher intelligence and divine guidance. All right, so we need to know this information because this is how we energetically heal ourselves. And a lot of us don't know that chakras are directly related to actual diseases that we are experiencing in our body. That dis-ease or disease comes from us not having balanced energy. Okay, so looking at this information is going to be our guide to ascension, to raising our vibration, to reaching higher consciousness. We have to balance our chakras, and we have to balance the 12 different energies inside of us, which we refer to as our zodiacs. Okay, every single one of us has 12 different energies inside of us, and we need to learn how to balance the air crisis, the fire crisis, the earth crisis, and the water crisis. And we talked about that in another episode. So this episode is just putting the pieces to the puzzle together. So as I stated, chakras are just energy portals to higher dimensions and actually our path to ascension. Each center acts as a substation or transformer of universal energy, that Kundalini energy, okay, that, or people refer to it as prana. And that prana flows through your medulla or base of your skull down to your root chakra and back up. That's how it's supposed to work, okay? But as the energy flows from the medulla to the lower chakras, it is transformed from pure energy or its pure state. But if the lower chakras are blocked, which happens due to negative impressions, suppressed emotions, trauma, and stuff like that, that's how you block your chakras. Then the energy gets stuck and cannot ascend, which leads to disease on mental, emotional, and physical levels. So if you have energy blockages, you have broken the attunement that you have with universal life force energy. All right. So if they are clear, then the energy can ascend back up, which leads to higher states of consciousness. Okay. So we talked about in the last episode, the 7 densities of consciousness. If we can keep this energy moving, that is how we reach this consciousness level. So what we need to know is that the energy centers come back to alignment or attunement through vibration. Okay. So frequency, music, and movement are how we loosen up this energy so that it can actually move throughout our body and not become stagnant. Now, y'all know I'm a self-proclaimed teacher, okay? So one thing that I do when I'm in meditation is I meditate on my chakras. And a lot of people will meditate using the colors or like visualizing the colors of the chakra. A lot of people will say the chakra sounds, which we'll get to, which are Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, and Om. Okay, that will get that energy moving in those centers and movement as well. Okay, but one thing that I say, and I've been doing recently that has been working so well, is saying all of the stagnant energy in my body is being transmuted into moving or free energy. And I can literally feel the energy breaking up. Now, I am a Reiki healer, so all I do is kind of gotta put my hands on my body because the universal energy in my body has already been awakened. Okay, so they do something in Reiki called attunements. There are Reiki courses on Udemy, y'all. Udemy, UDEMY.com. Okay, my professor's name was Lisa Powers. I think I spent $30 on all 3 Reiki all 3 Reiki courses put together. And it took me a couple hours to get through it, but they do these attunements where remotely they send the energy and wake the energy up in your body. I posted on TikTok about this, but anytime you go to a healer, they are not healing you. You are healing yourself. They're just waking up the energy that's in your body. So that's what Reiki is doing, massage therapy. Anything that happens to do with healing your body, nobody is healing you. They're just waking up the energy that's inside of you. So Reiki is really good for this. Once I woke up the energy inside of me, now I'm able to place my hands on myself and energetically heal myself, okay? So what I do is place my hands in the positions and I say all the stagnant energy in my body is being transmuted into flowing energy, okay? Another thing that I want us to understand before I jump into the lesson is that we have a physical body and we have an astral body, sometimes referred to as the subtle body or the energy body. Although they exist separately from each other, they affect one another. So whatever's happening to one end is happening to the other, okay? So that's why sometimes people will go to psychics to get healing. And the psychic will go into like this visualization, and because they're psychic, they can pick up on where the disease is. And in their mind, say that somebody has like, I don't know, like some type of infection, right? In their mind, what they would do is clean the infection, right? Clean it up, scrape it out, pour this heal all medicine or whatever, they can be creative. And basically they're visualizing this leaving this person's body. And a lot of times it has worked for people, okay? So what you think and what you experience actually does affect your body, right? So they fix them on the astral plane and then all of a sudden they're fixed in the physical plane. That's something we need to know. But again, y'all know I'm not forcing y'all to believe anything that I believe. This information comes from all these spiritual books that I read, okay? So I just share the information that I already have because I'm on a spiritual journey and I feel like if people are willing to learn, I might as well bring y'all along, okay? So I'm not forcing anybody to believe what I believe, but just know that I'm well studied, okay? So there are 7 main energy centers in our body. These are the chakras, which people refer to as energy portals or portals to higher dimension or even spiraling energy, okay? We talked about chakra meaning wheel or circle in Sanskrit, but 7 is a really important number in our universe. 7 musical notes are associated with your chakras. 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 sacred sounds are also associated with your chakras. The elements are associated with your chakras. So everything is literally fucking connected. All right. So the way that you remember the colors of the chakras is how they taught you to remember the rainbow. Roy G. Biv. Okay. Roy starts at the base, which is the root chakra. Red, orange, yellow. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. That is Roy G. Biv, okay? That's how you remember the colors of the chakra. Now, why is that important? Because when it comes to healing these chakras, color holds frequency. You can literally go to sleep with the color of the chakra that you're trying to heal on. You can light candles that are that color. You can eat food that is that color, okay? You can smell light essential oils, put essential oils into your bath that are associated with that color, okay? Like the third eye chakra, putting lavender in your bath can help with that, okay? So you have to know the colors because the colors help you when it comes to healing and balancing this energy. All right, so let's jump into the first chakra. We're gonna start from the root and work our way up. I'll tell you the position, the color, the gemstones that you need, ways for you to heal this, and also what it looks like when it's balanced and when it's unbalanced, okay? So the root chakra is the first chakra. It's located at the base of your spine, and it is the source of all the power of the other chakras. Like I said, the Kundalini energy lives here. The Kundalini energy is our life force energy, okay? Our vitality lives here. So this powers all the other chakras. So the root chakra is really, really important. Now, this is our most physical and primal of all of the chakras, and it relates to all that is in the physical world. So food, money, financial independence, okay? This is responsible for our ability to feel safe and also our ability to materialize, okay? Ambition is tied up in this root chakra. Now, if you were with me when I did the human design episode, the root center is tied up in ambition and material needs, money, okay? So it's the same thing. So survival is really important here, and it has to do with our right to exist. Okay, this is our ability to stand up for ourselves and to have security. So if you don't have financial, or if you grew up in a house where you didn't have your financial, emotional, mental, or basic needs met, okay, it causes issues in this area, and it's your ability to feel balanced and your ability to feel grounded. Now, when it comes to the color that's associated with this, it is red. Okay, and red is all about self-awareness. It's the area of survival and stability, and your place on earth. Okay, so it provides power from the earth and gives the energy to all the chakras. It connects us to our physical body. Now, root chakra, just think money. Most of our fast food restaurants have red and yellow in them. Okay, the red is associated with survival instincts, like putting you in that is the lowest energy that you can be in. Okay, that's what I say. Don't say I am statements all the time, because you're literally operating with the lowest, most primal energy that you have in your body. This is the lowest density in consciousness, and this is the lowest energy when it comes to your energy chakras. Okay, so you want to make sure it's nice and balanced, but you don't want to stay here. All right, so the organs that it affects are your kidney, your bladder, your vertebral column, which is your spine, okay, your hips, your legs, and then your adrenal glands. All right, when it comes to element, it has to do with earth. Okay, we're talking about grounding and support. Okay, so earth, it has to do with earth. When it comes to the sound is lam. By you just either thinking or saying lam, it starts to move that energy that is at the base of your spine. Okay, it's associated with the note C on the scale in 396 hertz. So another way for you to do this is learn to play the piano, or you can get on YouTube and start listening to this frequency, 339 hertz. All right. So when the root chakra is balanced, you feel like your life is always in balance, and you're not overtaken with your worries of financial stability, okay? Or having your basic needs met. You feel fucking safe, all right? So you feel secure, and you feel active and having positive energy, meaning that energy to get stuff done, okay? That creates a strong sense of community and your ability to build relationships. You feel centered and grounded. You experience prosperity. Life is more practical and organized, and you feel more equipped to handle life's troubles, okay? Some of the traits that come with having a balanced chakra are people who are courageous, who are confident, who are humanistic, who are strong-willed, spontaneous, honest, extroverted, pioneering, and they feel secure in themselves, all right? When this is imbalanced, you feel disconnected from others, or you lose your sense of belonging, and you become concerned with your personal security and survival. Okay, you feel like you have no support in your life. You're constantly being consumed or obsessed with money or materializing, meaning bringing stuff into the material world. Okay, you often depend on your past experiences, meaning living in the past. And the characteristics that come along with this is insecurity, self-pity, aggression, and fearfulness. So the diseases that are associated with having an imbalance in your root chakra are anemia. How many people are sitting at home eating ice? Okay, how many people are constantly cold, right? You do not feel safe in your life, and you need to balance this energy, okay? So anemia, fatigue, because again, it powers all your other chakras. This brings your energy into play, okay? The first sign is lower back pain. Anybody who's dealing with lower back pain, you need to balance your root chakra. All right, sciatica, which means kind of like that pain that's going down the side of your leg. Depression, frequent colds, meaning getting sick, but also cold feet and cold hands. It creates problems in your endocrine system. It creates problem with absorption of vitamin C and muscle tension, okay? Hormonal imbalances, constipation, diarrhea, frequent urination. Crohn's disease has been linked to this. Hypertension, kidney stones, impotence, meaning that you're not being fertile as a man, and also fertility issues for women, hip problems, leg and feet problems, varicose veins, polyps or tumors in your rectum, and even depression, lack of self-esteem, confusion, distraction, and disconnection. So Taja, how do we heal this? It sounds scary. Girl, I know. I had to deal with it for a long time. Okay, so yoga poses like the bridge pose or Kundalini yoga, Any meditation focusing on grounding yourself, okay? Physical exercise actually comes into play here. Restful sleeping, meaning that sleep according to your energetic design, okay? Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Gardening has to do with the earth. Pottery, clay, using red oils like sandalwood or ylang ylang. Using red clothes, sleeping with red clothes, putting on red clothes throughout the day. Again, red holds a frequency that balances this chakra. Eating foods that are red like apples, beets, cayenne pepper, Tabasco sauce, potatoes and carrots actually too, because again, they come out of the ground. Visualizing red things like red roses or red orbs, okay? Red veggies and red fruit. So again, my best advice, if you are struggling when it comes to this chakra, you have a problem feeling safe, okay? And I was one of those kids who grew up who did not have my financial needs met. And I also went through a little bit of physical abuse as well, okay? So I had a problem feeling safe anywhere, and I never realized it until this year. All right, so one thing that I do is every time that I swipe my card, I say, I love circulating money. I say circulating specifically because spending money means it's gone. Circulating means it's coming back, okay? And I say, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I have everything that I need to be able to survive in this environment. Every single time I pay a bill, I swipe my card, I use my card. I always say that, and I go from a positive perspective. Every time that somebody extends me love, compassion, or somebody does something nice for me, I say, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I have people in my life who actually care about me and make me feel safe. Okay, so start changing your affirmations to match this chakra. Now, your second chakra is actually your sacral chakra. Now, this one is 2 to 3 centimeters below your navel, below your belly button, okay? This corresponds with your emotions and your ability to sense and feel things in the physical world. So a sense of abundance, of well-being, of pleasure, of sexuality, okay? New experiences and how you connect with other people, your relationships. If you are having trouble connecting with other people and you're in this hermit mode, this loner energy, your sacral chakra needs to be balanced, okay? Because this is how you adapt to your environment around you, okay? It also affects your sexuality, okay? So our ability to feel creative, to feel sexual, and to accept change is directly linked to this, and it's associated with our right to feel, okay? It's related to feelings and our ability to be social and also intimacy issues, okay? So this is the dwelling place of self associated with creativity, procreation, and control of all emotional and consensual things in life. All your sexual energy is housed here. People with a strong second chakra, knowingly or unknowingly, sensually attract other people to them, okay? Now, your sacral chakra is actually associated with the color orange, okay? So tangerines, oranges, anything like that. But orange is actually associated with self-respect, okay? So having the ability to give ourselves the freedoms to be ourselves and helps to expand our interest in our activity. It brings joy to our workday and strengthens our appetite for life. Orange is the best emotional stimulant. We're talking about feelings here, okay? Connects us to our senses and helps to improve inhibitions and makes us independent and social. All right, the element that we're talking about here is water, honey. I said feelings, girl. Water. We're talking about water energy here. So water crisis, balancing using the water crisis is a good way, or working with water is what kind of helps heal this, right? So you have to use water in your everyday healing, and drink as much water as possible as well. Herbal teas actually work as well, like hibiscus, orange blossom, chamomile, and also bathe as much as possible, okay? Shower is not our enemy, but we need to submerge ourselves into water. We are electrical beings. Water conducts electricity, okay? If we want to move our energy, we need to get into the water. That's why they say always cleanse your aura by submerging yourself in water or getting in ocean water. The reason why they're telling you to do that is because we are electrical beings. The actual energy will move out into the water and it's no longer on us. So the organs that are associated with our sacral are the reproductive organs, okay? So uterus, prostate, ovaries, testes, hips, low back, kidneys, sacrum, and all of our body fluid. What I mean by that is urine, blood, tears, and menstruation. All of that comes into here. And it also has to do with our large bowel, okay? So this is responsible for our sexual development. So if you are a person who is exposed to sexual things at a very young age, you probably have a misaligned or imbalanced sacral center, okay? Because the fear of giving and receiving affection is also associated with your sacral, okay? So if it's overactive, it can lead to sexual addictions, okay? So they adapt sex as an attitude about life, meaning that people who have this overactive chakra, sex is an attitude for them. So everything they think about and do revolves around sex. So this happens when you live in an environment that revolves around pleasurable stimulation, like partying or entertaining, or frequent emotional drama. That's why a lot of people who are movie stars, who are famous, they end up having a sacral chakra imbalance, okay? Because they're constantly being predisposed to partying and entertainment and sexuality. All of that stuff is looped together. All right. So balanced chakra, you'll have a healthy sex life. It ignites creativity and relationships with other people. Your mind becomes balanced and devoid of any fears. Your ego is created in a second density, which we talked about, which means your ego is created here. Okay, so it is directly associated with fear because it is responsible for our survival. And if we are in survival mode, then there is a danger or something to fear in our environment. So when you balance this chakra, you become less fearful of everything and you get out of your survival mode that you've been in unnecessarily. Okay, so you'll have this ability to utilize your creative forces into all aspects of your being, high soul procreation, and direct yourself towards devotion. Okay, so people or some personality traits of somebody with a balanced sacral chakra would be sociable, creative, joyous, and also independent. Now, if this chakra is imbalanced or underdeveloped, the person will these are usually people who grew up in an environment where their feelings were denied or suppressed. They start fearing pleasure and lose touch with their feelings and resist change, okay? You can develop emotional problems related to sex. You can start developing feelings of guilt and find it difficult to be able to receive without feeling obligated, okay? You tend to give to others out of duty instead of out of love and out of your heart space. A lot of times you're stuck with routines and have a creative block. Anytime that you cannot create, your sacral chakra is affected, okay? You tend to need to sleep a lot only to find out that when you wake up, you still fucking exhausted. You always feel like you lack energy. Your sacral energy center is responsible for your work life and your life force energy, which we talked about when we talked about human design. So we talked about this. So if you are low in energy, this is where you need to focus. People who have an imbalance or underdeveloped sacral chakra will be withdrawn, they'll be destructive, they'll be despondent, and they'll be overly dependent. So I actually didn't mention this before, but colors are important too when it comes to gemstones. So the root chakra, rubies or anything red would work. For the sacral chakra, anything orange, okay? So the first one is carnelian. Now you may have seen carnelian on TikTok. This is the stone that people are like, oh my gosh, if you wear this, you're gonna attract the love that you want. And oh my gosh, guys are all over me when I started wearing this. That's carnelian. It's like a love stone. And then there's also granite, tiger's eye, amber, citrine, moonstone, rose quartz, orange zingite, fire agate, fire opal, opaz, and coral. Okay, when it comes to senses, taste is the sense that's associated with this. So anything sweet specifically is going to help stimulate that sacral chakra. When it comes to sound, the sound is VOM. So V as in Victor, and then the hertz is 417 hertz. That is D on the music scale. Okay, so you can either chant this in meditation or you can listen to the frequencies on YouTube. All right. When it comes to diseases, it's associated with the spleen, eating disorders, alcohol and drug abuse, depression, low back pain, asthma or allergies, yeast infections, urinary problems, sensuality issues like impotence or frigidity, menstrual symptoms, uterine fibroids, ovarian cysts, irritable bowel syndrome, endometriosis, testicular disease, and prostate disease. Now, I just want to stop real quick and say, does it make sense now to y'all why they try to introduce our kids to all these sexual innuendos at a young age? What does it lead them towards? Alcohol and drug abuse, sex addiction. Okay, our society, this Western culture that we live in, is steeped in our bottom three chakras. The root is about money. The sacral is about the root is about money. The sacral is about building relationships, creativity, but sex, mainly sex. And then the solar plexus is about power. Money, sex, and power are your bottom three chakras. You have to learn to elevate above them. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get to that higher level of consciousness, okay? That higher level of understanding, all right? So when it comes to healing, anything with a pelvic thrust, half boat pose in yoga, warrior pose in yoga, sun salutations, anything that allows you to twist and move, okay? When it comes to dances, African tribal dancing, belly dancing, the cobra pose as well, passive yoga, back bends, all of those things. Foods, anything orange. So oranges, tangerines, and also nuts. Nuts are really good for your sacral center. Hot aromatic baths, water aerobics, massages, orange essential oils like Melissa or orange blossom, okay? Incorporate orange things into your life like orange fruits and veggies, and also orange cloves, orange peppers, mangoes, cantaloupes, okay? Start wearing orange to bed. All of those things are going to help you to balance this energy. Now, the third chakra is your solar plexus. It's right above your navel. It corresponds with your nervous system and relates to feelings of personal power and self-control, also associated with willpower, and can be likened to the Freudian concept of ego. We talked about the Freudian concept, okay? I'm talking about Sigmund Freud, all right? Which is what we talked about in the previous episode. So this has to do with self-worth, self-confidence, and self-esteem. It's called the seat of the soul or the seat of intellect. Okay, your ego and your personality are housed in this third chakra. So it's associated with power, vitality, or ambition as well, self-control, self-discipline, self-esteem, also an emotional center like the heart, but specifically our lower emotions like anger, hate, fear, sadness. Okay, that's why I say the solar plexus is the center for pain and suffering, because we are experiencing these intense low vibrational emotions here. So it's our ability to be confident and in control of our lives, self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem, and our right to think. Okay, balance of intellect, self-control, and ego power. Ability to have self-control and humor comes into here as well, okay? This is the most important and can be misaligned very easily. Now, like I said, when I was talking about the densities, this is very short-lived, our shortest phase to go through, but the most important because it causes so much pain and suffering, all right? So when it comes to the organs that are associated with this, is our pancreas, which regulates our metabolism, okay? So pancreas, a digestive system. So anybody who has digestive problems, this is it. Liver, spleen, stomach, and small intestine. All right, so the color that's associated with this is yellow, but also gold works as well. Okay, and the element is fire. Fire is the element. So hot yoga, Bikram yoga are good things to stimulate this chakra. And yellow is associated with self-worth. So how we feel about ourselves and how we feel others perceive us. This is the area of personality, ego, and intellect. This gives us clarity of thought, increases awareness, and stimulates interest and curiosity. Yellow is related to our ability to perceive and understand, and it connects us to our mental self. Okay, so because it's associated with fire, it's also associated with anger. Okay, so people who have anger issues are people who have an imbalanced solar plexus. Okay, so manifestors, anybody who is a manifestor, when y'all are out of alignment, it appears as anger. Balance this chakra, please. Okay, when it comes to sense, it's sight and cognitive thinking, because again, this is about intellect. So sight and cognitive thinking. Remember I said in order for you to get past this chakra, where most people get stuck is through managing your thoughts and making conscious decisions. This is where this comes into play. Okay, our gut feelings actually come from here when we are trying to make a decision. All right, when it comes to sounds that are associated with this, this is Ram. Okay, but you need to roll the R, Ram. Okay, E is the musical scale note, and the hertz are 528 hertz. When it comes to gemstones, tiger eye, gold, peridot, chalcedony, yellow sapphire, yellow topaz, and gold calcite. Okay, when this is balanced, you feel gains in self esteem, spontaneity, vitality, and develop an ego identity, which is a strength that stems from the center of the body that makes them feel as if they belong everywhere. Food can be digested, assimilated, and metabolized properly. Assimilation experience, great digestion, positive use of personal power, manifest goals, good humor, optimistic, confident, practical, and intellectual. Okay. When it's imbalanced, it leads to excessive anger or attention to power, status or recognition, hatred. Remember, this is associated with the third, which again, I said pain and suffering, right? So people who have a blocked chakra become obsessed with power and controlling everything around them. They become pessimistic. They have this feeling of inferiority, which makes them have that Napoleon syndrome, right? And overly analytical and also overly sarcastic people. Yeah. This comes from an imbalance here as well. Okay, so the diseases that are associated with this are digestive issues, ulcers, diabetes, hyperglycemia, constipation, nervousness, toxicity, parasites, colitis, poor memory, pancreatitis, liver disease, peptic ulcers, colic disease, and gallstones. Ulcers, diabetes, hyperglycemia, we already said that. Over sexuality. Okay, so those people who are overly sexual, depression, muscle cramps, eating disorders, skin disorders, and problems in the spleen, kidney, pancreas, and nervous tissue. Okay, now as you can see, some of these same diseases are related to other chakras. Okay, so it's so important for you to balance these chakras if you experience any of these diseases. When it comes to healing these, yellow color foods like corns, grains and fibers, granolas, whole wheat bread is really good, or whole wheat in general, teas, peppermint tea or chamomile tea, kundalini yoga, dancing, boat posing yoga are really good. Dancers usually have a really good third chakra because it's actually associated with the feet. So people who have strong feet typically have a good balance of this chakra. So taking classes, dance classes, reading informative books, doing mind puzzles, sunshine, detoxification, yellow essential oils like lemon or rosemary, wearing gold or gold jewelry, and staring at a candle flame can help to balance this chakra as well. Yellow clothing when you go to sleep, and then fruits and veggies like banana, squash, and peaches are really good, but sweet foods specifically, lots of liquids to stimulate this chakra, and specific yoga stances. Now, the fourth chakra is actually your heart center. Your heart center is the portal between your lower chakras and your higher chakras, okay? So your lower chakras actually repel. If you are living in those lower chakras, you are repelling everything that you want. Then your heart chakra is compassion, forgiveness, and love, right? It's a bridge between hell and heaven, right? And then your top chakras are your ability to connect to higher and divine consciousness, and also your feminine qualities, your 5D consciousness. Okay, so heart chakra is located in the center of the chest. It is the portal between physical and astral worlds. Remember I said if the path of service to self usually skips this, that's why they don't have a connection to spirit or God or anything like that higher than them, is because they see this area as useless, and this is literally the portal to astral realms, opposed to the physical part of us, the non-physical part of us. So they don't get to feel that because they skip their heart space. All right, so this is the first step in receiving the higher consciousness associated with the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakra, love, joy, and inner peace. All problems or imbalances are intensified at the heart because the heart is your emotional body. So anything that you're feeling also gets stuck in your heart chakra as well. Okay, so your ability to love, quality of your love, and our past and future relationships are all affected by this chakra. So it's the right to love, forgiveness, compassion, and the ability to have self-control and accept oneself, meaning self-love is important here too. The color is green, and also pink is actually associated with the heart. That's why rose quartz is a really good gemstone for the heart, because pink is a more subtle way of going about this energy. And again, it's related to love and self-love. The element is air, okay? And air is our intellect, okay? The sound is yam with a Y, yam. It is F on the musical scale and 639 hertz. The organs that are associated with the heart are heart, breast, thymus. This regulates your immune system. When this is balanced, you release emotionally repressed trauma. Your soul and your heart consciousness is high. You express love in action, meaning that you actually put action behind your love. You're understanding, you have self-control, you're adaptable, you're sympathetic, compassionate, generous, humble, nature-loving, and romantic. When balanced, we are able to give love and also love and nurture ourselves. It helps to relax muscles, nerves, and thoughts. It cleanses and balances energy to give the feeling of renewal, peace, and harmony. It balances our whole being because all of those heavy feelings of betrayal, grief, loss, and feeling unlovable are anchored in your heart. Okay, when it's imbalanced, people will feel indifferent, jealous, miserable, and bitterness. Bitterness comes into play here, okay? When it comes to gemstones, rose quartz and turquoise are really good here. And when it comes to diseases, anything that has to do with your heart, any breathing disorders, heart or breast cancer, chest pain, high blood pressure, passivity, immune system problems, and muscular tension. AIDS has also been linked to this. ME has been linked to this, and chronic fatigue syndrome have been linked to this as well. When it comes to healing, Bikram yoga is another good one. Opening your heart to others, just practicing opening up your heart and being open to receiving, eating any green foods. So any leafy vegetables like kale, cabbage, spinach, salad, all of that. Okay. Green teas, nature walks, time spent with your family and friends. Okay. And then also green oils like eucalyptus and pine. Your fifth chakra is your throat chakra. This is actually located at the back of your throat. This deals with communication and self-expression, but it's more so like expressing your feelings and expressing your boundaries and your needs, okay? It's activated when you speak, but also through certain breathing exercises and chants. It transforms all of your emotions into words so that we can articulate what we are feeling. It represents our ability to communicate and express ourselves. Communication, expressing yourself, speaking our truth, and holding secrets as well. So this has to do with our right to speak, okay? So it's learning to express oneself in belief, truthful expression, ability to trust other people as well, loyalty and organization and planning, all right? The color that's associated with this is blue. Blue directly is directly affected or associated with self-expression, okay? So it connects us to holistic things, and gives us wisdom and clarity, enhancing our communication and our speech. When it comes to organs that's related to this, your thyroid. If you have thyroid issues, it don't matter what it is, it's related to your throat chakra. You're not speaking up for yourself or setting healthy boundaries or speaking your truth. Maybe you're hiding too many secrets. All of those things have to do with this, okay? And then this organ, thyroid, actually regulates your body temperature and your metabolism. Okay, this element that it's associated with is the aether. You remember I told you the aether is the universal energy that is around us, the electricity that is around us. Yeah, it's everything, right? So the sound that's associated with this is hum. It looks like ham, but it's hum. And it's G on the musical scale. 741 hertz is what you would need to listen to. When this is balanced, you have an ability to verbalize, express your truth through power of spoken word, loyal, tactful, affectionate, inspiring, inventive, caring, and cautious, and calm. Okay? When it's imbalanced, you're unfaithful, untrustworthy, you're self-righteous, and you're cold. Now, I don't know if y'all know what self-righteous mean, but you know them times where you was talking to a friend about something that was really affecting you and it could have been something really traumatic, and your friend responds, well, I've been through worse. So what you saying is invalid. It's basically what they saying to you. Well, I've been through worse, so I don't want to hear that, right? That is what I mean by self-righteous, okay? If they think that they've been through worse and are saying that what you're saying is invalid because of that, those people are self-righteous. These are the people who, if they can imagine themselves doing it, then they can't imagine nobody else doing it as well. Okay? When it comes to diseases, thyroid imbalances, swollen glands, fevers and flus, infections, anything with your mouth, your jaw, your tongue, your neck, or your shoulders, hyperactivity, hormonal disorders like PMS, mood swings, menopause, bloating, specifically anorexia nervosa, which actually is affected through a lot of different channels and a lot of different chakras, but it has a very strong connection with your throat. Bronchitis, hearing problems, tinnitus, upper digestive tract issues, mouth ulcers, sore throat, or tonsillitis. I dealt with tonsillitis my entire life. And could you imagine? Did you know that I had a throat chakra block? Yeah, sure did. All right. So good things to heal this. Shoulder stands, standing on your shoulders. Okay. Singing and chanting. This is your throat. Sing, vibrate those freaking chords, even if you're not good at it. Sing, baby. Okay. Eat all the fruits and drink all the juices. It doesn't matter what fruit and juices, they all help your throat chakra. Teas, poetry, stamp or art collection actually come in here. Meaningful conversations, having meaningful conversations with people is so freaking important. And then any blue oils like chamomile or geranium is another one. Okay. Now the sixth chakra is your third eye. It's between your eyebrows. Okay. It corresponds with your intuition, psychic abilities, and self-realization, meaning your ability to look at yourself and evaluate yourself. Having self-awareness, okay? So it affects the nervous system and helps us to release negative thought patterns, okay? One place of the body where our soul leaves during astral projection. So you remember I talked about our indigo ray body in the last episode, right? So this is actually, our astral body is associated with this as well. Okay, so it helps us listen to our intuition, imagination, wisdom, and our ability to think and make decisions. Our ability to focus on and see the bigger picture between the brows, again, affects our right to see is what this has to do with. Our right to see. So trusting one's intuition and insight, developing one's psychic abilities, self-realization, releasing what is hidden, and also repress negative thoughts. The color that's associated with this is indigo. Indigo represents self-responsibility. So being responsible for one's own life. Your own life. This actually is what your third chakra is responsible for. When it comes to the element, this is also aether. Okay, the sound is Om, and it's 8 on the musical scale, so 852 hertz. The organ that's associated with this is your eyes, your lower head, your sinuses, and your pituitary gland. So this regulates all the 5 previous chakras. If it's in balance, you have a clear conscious to channel intuition, balanced state of mind. You see divine perfection in all things, devotion, fearlessness, practical, you're idealistic, wise, and a truth seeker, highly intuitive, faithful, clear-sighted. You have clear-sighted integrity and an orderly mind. When it's imbalanced, you have an inability to trust your intuition and mind. You have scattered thoughts and scattered, just everything about you is kind of chaotic. You're inconsiderate, and you have blinkered vision. Okay, so the diseases that are associated with this is any learning disability, coordination problems, sleep disorders, plus all the same from the throat. So tension headaches, migraines, visual defects, short-sightedness, glaucoma, cataracts, sinuses, and ear issues. Okay, when it comes to healing, the child pose or anything that requires you to bend forward, eye exercises, herbal oil treatments with like lavender or jasmine, eating purple foods like grapes or blueberries, lavender flavored spices or teas. Stargazing is actually really good for this, and indigo oils like patachu or frankincense. And the last chakra, your 7th chakra, is your crown chakra. I don't mean last chakra because we know that there are more than just these 7 chakras, but these are the main ones, okay? This is located just above your head, outside of your body. It corresponds with spirituality, wisdom, and God consciousness. Healers call this the most magnificent of all chakras. This is the place where energy enters all of your body. Okay, so all of the energy that enters your body enters from this top part. That is why women say that you need to protect your crown, because you receive energy from the top of your head. Okay, so this is responsible for inner and outer beauty, our connection to spirituality and pure bliss. This is our ability to be fully connected with spirit, very top of your head. And this is knowingness or our right to aspire. Okay, so this is this is dedication to the divine consciousness and trust in the universe, learning about one's spirituality, connecting to the concept of God or a higher intelligence, integrating one's consciousness and subconsciousness into superconsciousness. Okay, so the color that's associated with this is violet, and it relates to self-knowledge and spiritual awareness. The union with higher self, spirituality, and knowledge. When it's balanced, the person has personal identification with the infinite oneness of God, peace, and wisdom. They tend to be inspirational leaders, kind and just, humanitarian, self-sacrificing, visionary, creative, and strong mentally. When it's imbalanced, no concern for other people, feelings of superiority, and lack of contact with reality. The sound that's associated with this is Om, which is actually the universal sacred sound. It is B on the music scale, 963 hertz. The organs are brain, pineal gland, because The crown chakra actually regulates the pineal gland and is responsible for all biological cycles like sleeping and menstruation. And when it comes to diseases, headaches, photosensitivity, which means sensitivity to light, mental illness, neuralgia, senility, right and left brain orders, coordination problems, epilepsy, varicose veins again, blood vessel problems, skin rashes, depression, Parkinson's disease, schizophrenia, epilepsy, dementia, Alzheimer's, many mental disorders, confusion, and dizziness. How do you heal this? Meditation, running or cardio. And when it comes to like foods, there is no food. Fasting is the best way to heal this chakra, okay? Breathing clean air along with getting sunshine, but drinking water and fasting, that's it. Make sure that if you're trying to develop this, focus on your dreams. Start a dream journal and tell your subconscious mind that you want to remember your dreams and get up and write it, okay? Writing down any visions or inventions, and then using violet oils, again, lavender and jasmine. So this episode is actually already really long, so I'm gonna kind of leave it there. I was gonna go into the astrology of the chakras, but I actually posted about this on my TikTok, so you guys can go watch it there. But basically each chakra is related to a planet. Knowing this planet is going to help you. When it comes to alchemy, the crown is associated with the sun, the third eye is the moon, the throat is Mercury, the heart is Venus, the solar plexus is Jupiter, and the sacral is Mars, the root is Saturn. But when it comes to this book that I read, it was actually a little different. The root was actually Saturn, and Saturn represents our ability to ground ourselves so that we can materialize our dreams. The sacral was associated with Jupiter, is how we expand our consciousness. The solar plexus was associated with Mars. This is the planet associated with personal willpower. And then also Pluto, which is associated to collective will. I actually think this was this girl's opinion, but this is what I talked about on TikTok. The heart is governed by Venus, which we already know that. Throat is associated with Mercury, which is communication, but also Chiron, which is our mentor, teacher archetype. Third eye is associated with the sun and the moon, and they talk about the two polarities here. The moon is supposed to be associated with the medulla, which is where we receive our energy, and the sun is supposed to be located where the third eye actually is, and this is supposed to be where we express that energy. And when it comes to the crown chakra, it's related to Uranus, which represents the universal current of energy that nourishes our mind, body, and soul. Okay, when it comes to us balancing these chakras, what you really need to know is that these are energy centers. Okay, so meditation, chakra meditations, color meditations, chanting meditations, sound meditations are really good. Bathing with essential oils that are associated with these chakras, using gemstone meditations as well, using the stones and putting them directly over your chakra centers and meditating on those. Okay, so when it comes to your root chakra, ruby, bloodstone, granite, smoky quartz, your sacral, amber, coral, carnelian, citrine, solar plexus, gold, tiger's eye, yellow, amber, gold topaz, your heart, rose quartz, emerald, pink or green tourmaline, malachite, which is that black one that everybody say as soon as you start wearing it, your life go upside down, and jade, your throat, turquoise, lapis lazuli, aquamarine, blue topaz, your third eye, quartz, sapphire, lapis lazuli, and also your crown chakra, quartz, diamond, amethyst, and selenite. Okay, when it comes to nutrition, you need to eat the food based off of the chakras. So root chakras, any non-meat protein, kidney beans, aduki beans, legumes, red fruits, berries, beets, sacral, liquids, fluids, orange, carrots, pumpkins, solar plexus, whole grains, oats, barley, quinoa, wheat, bananas, lemons, sunburst squash, your heart, all green and leafy vegetables, kiwis, spirulina, zucchini, your throat, blue and purple berries, blueberries, blackberries, loganberries, third eye, any purple or violet fruits and veggies. So plums, grapes, beets, purple cabbage, broccoli, potatoes, asparagus, eggplant. And then your crown, water and fasting. That's it. Okay? So for our homework, I want you to start meditating on your chakras. You can do this with colors. You can do this with gemstones. You can do this with just closing your eye and trying to visualize those chakras. Whatever you need to do, spend 3 to 5 minutes on each chakra and start to see if you can feel this energy moving. One of the easiest ways I found to do this is saying the sacral sounds, okay? Just by saying that sound, you can chant it out loud or even think it in your head, and I'm telling you, it'll move this energy. When it comes to resources, Chakras for Beginners, How to Balance, Heal, and Unblock Your Chakras by Lisa Hardy. That's where I got that astrology component from. And then the Complete Ascension Manual. We talked about this, How to Achieve Ascension in This Lifetime by Joshua David Stone. This actually tells you, for your root chakra, you need to fix these things. For your sacral chakra, you need to focus in on managing your thoughts or getting over your ego. Basically, the sacral is all about the ego. And then the third one is managing your emotions, managing your thoughts, okay? So he actually gives a step-by-step guide of how you actually elevate past these things, okay? I love y'all deep. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Y'all know I appreciate y'all. We didn't have a history lesson on this because, again, we'll be here forever, okay? So we didn't have a history lesson on this because I wanted us to really understand the chakras and what each chakra affects and how we can actually heal this. Okay, so it was a lot of information. I appreciate y'all for hanging around. Leave me some feedback in the comments so we can open up a conversation about this. And I love y'all deep. Happy healing, people.